Welcome to the Talkin Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Look, I know we're a little over 3 months away from college football kicking off, but hey, sometimes you got to talk about predictions. Sometimes you got to talk about expectations. Josh Pate was just doing that over the weekend. Is Tennessee, are the Volunteers a college football playoff contender? Are they on the bubble? Are they on the outside looking in? And I know some people, the trolls, the haters, they leave the comments, they say Tennessee fans are delusional. You had one good season, you think that you're back. Well, look, you go back to that season. You go back to 2022. Tennessee led the country in offense, 46 points per game. Look, we know that. We expect that. That's what Josh Heupel is going to do. He's going to go out and score points. But what about that defense? A defense that a lot of people say was terrible. They talk about the passing defense. And when you really go look at it in the grand scheme of things, Tennessee gave up 22.8 points per game. That's good for 36th nationally. And when you roll through that schedule from last year, of course, you did what you were supposed to do against teams like Ball State, held them to 10, Akron, you held them to 6. But what about the teams like LSU? 40-13, Kentucky, 44-6. Tennessee took care of business against some top-ranked teams, to 66-24 against Missouri. And I get it. A lot of people, they look at it from the outside looking in. They talk about Hendon Hooker. They talk about Jalen Hyatt. Those guys off to the NFL. So clearly Tennessee is done, right? Well, look what happened after those guys opted out in the bowl game. Tennessee goes and takes care of a pretty good Clemson team, 31-14. Joe Milton rolled Vanderbilt 56-0. So where is this football team at going into 2023? We're going to get into it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see what Josh Pate had to say. But as always, guys, do me a favor. Go ahead and smash that like button just below the video. It's quick. It's free, easy. Just hit that little thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, if you're new to the Talkin' VAWLS Network, welcome. We're not experts. We're not insiders. We're not media. This channel is for the fans, by the fans. We are building a community of Tennessee fans right here on the Talkin' VAWLS Network. So if you enjoy it, make sure you subscribe, click that bell for notifications. You're not going to miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. Quick reminder, no NCAA stream tonight. Got some stuff going on. We're shifting that to tomorrow night. So Tuesday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. Be right here on the Talkin' VAWLS Network. We'll play some NCAA football, and we will talk all things Tennessee football. But let's get into it. Let's take a listen to what Josh Pate had to say. A few wild card teams for the college football playoff. What say you? Hit the comment section. Is Tennessee a college football playoff contender in 2023? Let's take a listen to what Josh Pate had to say.
We got some wild card teams out here. We got some teams that Vegas and me and you and everyone else is kind of wondering, how do we nail this team down? And you know the first one's going to be, because we have neglected them for the better part of a month, is Tennessee. I walked in the building today. I said, Jesse, we need to talk about Tennessee. Let's do the Tennessee Mood Tracker. And noted Vol hater, producer Jesse, said, no, we already did that. And I said, well, we're putting them in the show somehow. So here are the
It's kind of funny because obviously you guys know how much I love Josh Pate, but these guys, 247 Sports, Josh Pate, on 3 with JD Piquel, they talk about Tennessee because Tennessee creates buzz. They create ratings. Guys like you all, guys like me, we're watching Tennessee football content every single month out of the year, and I love it. I'm here for it. It allows me the opportunity to jump on here and talk Tennessee football for a living, but it's just comical because other channels like 247 on 3, the big guys are always talking Tennessee because they're hot for ratings right now.
They are. Tennessee is a wild card team for obvious reasons. We watched what Hendon Hooker did last year. We watched what that coaching staff was able to do. We watched what Jalen Hyatt did even after Cedric Tillman goes down. So you had a superstar wide receiver emerge. You had a superstar quarterback emerge, and neither one of them are there anymore. And so the most shallow, casual preview magazine only sort of person out there would say, well, they're gone. That means Tennessee comes back to earth, because it's not been that long ago, obviously, that we were living in a world where Tennessee was, well, they were really, really down to earth.
We were also living in a world where nobody expected anything from Jalen Hyatt. At one point, Hendon Hooker was an unknown. Is anybody here that's listening to this video, is anybody concerned about production at the wide receiver position? I'm just as excited this year as I was a year ago. Last year we're talking about Cedric Tillman. He goes down hurt. Jalen Hyatt blows up. I mean, we got Ramel Keaton, Squirrel White, Brew McCoy. I'm excited. You guys know about Dante Thornton, the transfer from Oregon. I think he has an opportunity to come in and be the next Jalen Hyatt. I think he has an opportunity to be a one-and-done guy. He would be eligible for the draft, and I think that's his goal. I think his goal is to come to Tennessee, play one season, and get to the league. I think that's what he is looking to do. Brew McCoy, it's a money year for him. It's go time. Brew McCoy wants to get to the league. He's got to show a little something, and he showed it last year. He showed he could be that big physical receiver. kind of replace Cedric Tillman in the grand scheme of things. What about Ramel Keaton? It's go time for him too. I would love to see Ramel Keaton come along and have a big-time season and get drafted. He's a guy that made some big-time plays last year. But does, we know what this coaching staff is going to do with the wide receiver position. They're going to roll with 3 guys. Who earns those snaps? A lot of questions with this team, too. Obviously, what Joe Milton do we get? The offensive line is a concern. Clearly, this coaching staff not confident with the guard position, looking to the transfer portal, trying to add the kid from Wyoming who ended up elsewhere. That tells me that going to the portal tells me that they're not confident in that guard position. We saw Addison Nichols, the redshirt freshman, play a lot of center throughout spring camp with Cooper Mays out. Does Addison Nichols kind of slide over to guard that natural position and earn the spot? Does he earn a starting spot as a redshirt freshman? I think that's something to keep an eye on. Defensively, switch over to the other side of the ball. What do the young guys do on the defensive line? Do Tyler Barron and Roman Harrison hold down their spots, or do guys like Joshua Josephs, Tyree West, James Pierce, some of these young guys, do they start to come along? What about in the secondary? Again, adding the kid from BYU, Gabe Judy-Lally. A lot of buzz about Kamal Haddon coming out of spring. Who locks down those spots? Danico Slaughter. Want to see what he does. A lot of question marks defensively, but I think I like what this team added. I think they have the potential to take a step defensively from last year. And a lot of people want to talk about how terrible that team is last year on defense. But again, I said it at the top of the video, 22.8 points per game. That's good for 36th. You want to talk about yards per game, passing defense, all these stats to form a narrative about how terrible Tennessee's defense is. All that I'm looking at is wins and losses and points scored and points allowed. 46 points scored per game, 22.8 points allowed per game. I like my odds there. 11-win season. Is Tennessee a college football playoff contender? Let's hear more from Josh Pate.
Then last year they weren't. So, it's that whole, well, did they catch lightning in a bottle, or are they going to be a mainstay player? Joe Milton looked really good in that bowl game. And I'm not going to rehash a lot of this because you already know that. What I'm doing is I'm trying to give you both sides of why they're a wild card. You see, because until you've sustained excellence, until you've sustained a run of well above average play, there's a lot that can still go wrong. There's a lot that's still unproven about you. And that even takes into account from Memphis all the way to Knoxville and everywhere in between, how much confidence there is just bubbling, emanating out of that program. I talked to you for a while about how I think they've recruited defensively a little bit better. That gets overshadowed, obviously, because of the offensive production that they have put up and they plan to still put up this year and in years moving forward. But they don't have that element of surprise, which we've seen notably a few times in the SEC. We've seen it elsewhere, like Michigan State did this a couple of years ago. They snuck up on everyone. Well, what was their encore? It was terrible. I do not expect a Michigan State 2022 style drop-off for Tennessee this year. They get Bama and Georgia in the back half of the schedule. So even if the worst were to happen, and we watch them against Virginia, which is being played here in Nashville, and they look a little shaky, a little rickety, it's okay because they've still got time. And they've got Austin Peay, and they go to Florida early, and they got UTSA, but they've got that bye week before they play A&M and go to Bama, and they've got Georgia second to last week of the year. So, whatever they're going to be offensively, they will long since have figured it out by the time they get to the back half. That's
all right. That wraps up his thoughts on Tennessee, but he brings up an interesting point talking about confidence, saying that Tennessee fans are oozing confidence right now. Where are you at confidence-wise? Last year, not very many people, some people, I was not saying Tennessee's going to go out and win 11 games. I think the over-under was at 7.5. I had Tennessee at 8-4. They go out and win 11. Where are you at now? Where are you at confidence-wise? I think it's around 8.5 this year. Do you have the confidence that Tennessee's going to go out and win 11 games again? I mean, I've told you guys before, I'm sitting at 9. I look at the schedule here. I feel they're going to be heavily favored against Virginia. Austin Peay's Austin Peay. I was looking just today and saw that Tennessee actually favored by almost a touchdown. Going on the road to play Florida, favored by almost a touchdown. I've talked about that game. Kind of scares me a little bit. You're going on the road. You got to go down to the swamp. It's early in the year. What does Joe Milton look like on the road? I think that's where Joe Milton has the opportunity to really prove himself. But Tennessee favored by a touchdown on the road. UTSA, say what you will. I don't really care. That's the dub. South Carolina, I think that's a win. I think that's a revenge game that is circled on the calendar. Tennessee has an opportunity to go into the bye week at 5-0, but then the gauntlet starts. Texas A&M, what does Jimbo Fisher do with that football team? He always seems to do less with more. on the road against Alabama, on the road against Kentucky. Say what you will. It is what it is. I was on Locked On VAWLS. I think that episode airs today. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. Eric Kane brought it up. Kentucky's Kentucky. Tennessee can lose that game, whether you want to hear it or not. UConn's UConn. At Missouri, I feel confident. Georgia. I saw that Georgia and Alabama both favored by a touchdown against Tennessee. On the road against Bama, Georgia's coming to Neyland Stadium. You look at that schedule. I see 9 wins, maybe 10. There's a lot of toss-up games. Again, Texas A&M, I don't know what that game looks like. At Alabama, you can lose that game. At Kentucky, you can lose that game. Georgia, you can lose that game. If the worst happens and you lose to Florida, you're looking at 7-5. I like 8-4. I like 9-3. Where are you at confidence-wise? Hit the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. Are they a college football playoff contender? Are you oozing confidence? Hit the comment section. Let me know. As always, make sure you guys smash the thumbs up on the way out the door. Go check out the merchandise, bonfire.com/store/talkinballs. Appreciate you guys picking up the merch. Also, thank you to the members of the channel. We do appreciate you guys. You guys pay the light bill around here. Keep this thing rolling. Give me the opportunity to do it full time. You want to be a part of that, hit the join button down below. Little as $1 a month. You can be a part of the family. You get custom Talkin' Balls emojis, access to fan call-in shows, all kinds of fun perks and benefits. But if not, that's cool. Smash the thumbs up. Hit the comment section because this is the Talkin' Balls Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.